Once again, good morning. It's still Daybreak Africa. If you just tuned in, reaching you here from our studios in London City. Of course, I'm Ezekiel. Ogar, as Analyst stated this morning, we'll be talking on the NLC declaration of a strike amidst the cost of living in Nigeria. And of course, with us in the house, an analyst person of Gbenga, Ajisafe. Welcome on Daybreak Africa once again.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. It's a pleasure.
Yes, good morning.
Now, just before we go into details as to our response from the government, I tend to want to talk about the level of confidence, Nigerians tend to have, towards NLC as a body. Once upon a time, we tend to have a lot of confidence in them during the, should I say, the leadership of Adams or Shomole. But right now, people tend to really have a little no confidence in Ajayero and his officials. What is your take as to today's reaction so far?
I think we have to give it to the late labor leaders that passed away in the last year. Is Kokori. I think it's not Adam that started the struggles that we have seen today. We've seen a lot of that far back in 1993 after the Abacha problems, and then the Nigerians have to march. You have some set of politicians that say they want to march for Abacha. At that time, they say it's a 1 million march, and we have a march that was led also by the labor leaders then. In person of the Kokori, and he marched about 2 million in Lagos, and that is the strong ways of the peoples, and they say they condemn it outrightly. That the junta of the then dictatorship of Abacha will not be tolerated in Nigerians, and that is how it is. So Adam Oshomole, yes, since the democracy started in this republic, it started with Obasanjo, and they have shows the levels at which the labor Congress and they should take the leadership roles. I want to believe that the same levels at that is not being too forgotten. I think Ajero is also trying. He have mapped out his strategies this time around. It's not just threatening. It's going by the lead, and that is how it's supposed to look like. We are going to protest. The first thing is to protest, not to strike. The strike should be the last means of every struggles, and that is what they are doing now. They want to do it to the protest, and that should show the world how they are not feeling well, and the welfareism is not taking good care of. And I think that is the way to go about it.
Now, still talking about the confidence of Nigerians on the NLC, it was actually evident from the one that was held, the demonstration or the protest that was called for sometime last year. You could actually feel the lackadaisical attitude of Nigerians towards it because of that fall or failure of Nigerians believing in anything in terms of policy given by government, and of course the bias that we have against the NLC as it were. Do you see Nigerians actually responding to this latest declaration, what I call the February 8th ultimatum by the NLC? Do you actually see Nigerians coming out or responding to come February 27th or 28th, as it were?
Yeah. Nigerians will be coming out on the 27th and 28th. That is the doubt. There is no doubt about it. We have been seeing a lot of protests, personal protesting. We've seen one-man protests. We've seen protests in Kano. We've seen protests in Ibadan. We've seen protests everywhere in the countries now. The protest is just scattered. It's a pocket of protesting, and it shows that people are not happy. People are not feeling well with this hardship they find themselves. And anybody that is calling on protest, the NLC is calling out protest now. I think there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of associations, a lot of groups that's going to be happy to join those calling for protesting. I think we are going to see a lot of people coming out for this protest.
Well, the thing is, most often we tend to hear disagreement from so-called affiliates of this organized body. So it's more like the body itself is not exactly organized. And so far we've heard talks of somebody actually coming out to say they're not really in support of that leadership or the current proposal by Ajayero, saying probably the protest or strike is not exactly for the benefit of Nigerians at the moment. What's your take as to such affiliate and that level of separate?
Yeah, the TUC are part of the Labour Congress, and because they have their different presidents. But I want to tell you this, that The TUC is part of what is going to come up on this February 27 and 28. Reason is that the business, every aspect of Nigerian business is affected. There's nobody that can clearly tell you that this hardship is not affecting his business, because the levels of buying and selling is also not stable in Nigeria today. You cannot say you have bought in anything and you say that is the amount you are going to see it tomorrow. So it's affecting everybody. So the groups are willing to protest so that there will be at least a stability in terms of market. So I want to believe that there's no divide and rule that can change this protest unless there's a strict there's a will of the government to do something about it before then.
Now, I still want to talk about this bias that Nigerians have towards the NLC. Also, last year we had a situation whereby a strike was called off, and now Nigerians have that fear. And the question has been asked that what will happen if we wake up tomorrow after the NLC has a meeting with the government, the present government, and we hear that it has been called off, because there's that fear that the same thing may happen again. And of course, Nigerians have this feeling of not being carried along, as it were. Do you foresee this happening? And if it actually does happen, what do you think would be the implication of the NLC suddenly calling off what it has said would happen in the future?
I think the first thing is that the NLC will not call off. The confidence you are saying is for them not to go on strikes. Protests is going to be massive. The reason why I'm saying that is that the hardship is not a leadership thing. You cannot just buy the leaders and leave the promise, the template. There is a template being given to the government before now, and they have promised them some things that we are going to give you bosses. The boss is not coming out. We are going to increase your salaries. These salaries is not coming out. So there's no manpower. There's no physical things that can say this protest will not hold. At least it's not a strike. It's just to show that they are not happy with what the government policies is adding to their life. That is just the protest. So the protest is a normal thing. It's not strikes. They are going to show, they are going to demonstrate. Nigerians is going to come out to show their feelings, the ways, the policies of this present government is not helping them. I think it's a good way to start with. But the other one is like you are saying, strike. Strike is just that. Strike is should be the last solution towards this struggle.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, talking about our protests, where some persons say we already seated on a keg of gunpowder already. Now, don't you think protests as this would then just stir the hearts of already angry Nigerians? Because to be honest, we have seen what protests could do. I mean,
yes, protests, strikes. Strike will shut down the economics. Protests will close down just to some hours, some basic hours of the activities of the day. Reason is that it is best interest of everybody. I repeat, everybody. Is either you stay home or you join the protest. Protest does not matter that you it's going to be violent. It's true, there is hardship in the road. As a matter of fact, I was watching a clip the other day that I saw a vendor, a food vendor, that people have to start watching in the far north. So it shows that people are hungry and people are not happy with the situation of things in Nigerians. So nobody can stop an hungry man for not acting. So it is now for us to look inward and see what we can do, what the government can do in terms of telling people that they are on top of this and they can solve this problem immediately. So I think it's not strikes. The best thing is for everybody to lock his shops and join this protest, or you stay at home, but not just opening. If you open a shop and you are telling the people that you are not fake consigned, that is not way to go about it. So it's better you bring out waters, you bring out food that people can eat, than you start opening shop. I think That will go a long way.
Okay, Nigeria as a country seem not to have its own ways of making decisions for its people. There is a Nigerian way that Nigerians actually wish we could cultivate that works for us. Now, this strike is a result of the ill-conceived and ill-executed World Bank and IMF hike on PMS and the devaluation of the Naira. Don't you think it is high time for us to create a system that works for us instead of constantly depending on external forces to dictate the way we rule and survive as a people?
Imperialism of government. That is why we need a philosophers. You know, it was Plato in the Republican that said, it's only when the philosopher became the kings that the country, the society became a better place for us to live in. So what you said is, are we really having those leaders, those people that know the onions, that knows that what is it that IMF is offering Nigerians? What is it that what is their intakes? What is their interests? So the moment we're able to realize this, the better for Nigerians, the better for us. We cannot be joining a economic growth of people, and people will be dictating economically. They are dictating how we run our countries, and that is what they are doing. And if we have a good leaders, we're able to see in that directions and start working inward to see that we break away from all these imperialism rules of the colonial era that we find ourselves, we've put ourselves into. So I think the government of today need to work harder, because it's cost everything. The first day he came to office, he just skyrocketed and say we should remove fuel subsidies without not providing solutions towards that, and as at then, and that have brought a lot of hardship to Nigerians today. So you should think for short times and long-term solutions. The short-term solution is to grow maize in 3 months, to grow rice in 6 months. These are short-term solutions. They have been there for the past 6 months. So have we started growing rice? So have we started growing maize? So these are problems upon problems that the present government is not seeing. And I want to believe that he's a man that I know that can handle this. He's a thinking man, but maybe his bodies are beginning to tell on him. That's why he's not that active anymore. Because I know the president of Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, Ahmed Tinubu, is somebody that have struggled to get to this position he's been today. He started his struggles far back in 1992, 93. He became a senator in the Federal Republic of Nigerians, and he had this zeal also to do the will of the people. But I don't see it working for him now. So I don't know.
You're sounding more like you trust in him as a person, but you doubt the level of intelligence he has around him. Is what I'm getting.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I have to doubt his levels of people that surrounded him, because this is somebody we've known that he fighted along the MK Abiola for a true democracy to come up in 1993, and we are part of the struggle. Then we know what him did as at that time before he became the senator of in Lagos then, and he's part of those people that believe in Nigerians. I want to tell you this. It's not, but the levels of people that surrounded him is not helping him to succeed. He have people who are not thinking like the way he's thinking in those days, and that is about 31 years ago. So if you have people, he surround himself with people that are too money conscious and are not ready to do anything to develop this country. I think that is the problem he's having, and that's why he's not able to fine-tune the solutions towards this crisis he's facing today.
I personally do not agree with that. With your take on the fact that he is surrounded by people who do not think. Tinubu is a Nigerian who we all saw and listened through social media during the election, before the election and during the election. His zeal to come into governance the people who surround Tinubu are Nigerians. We had a government in place, the government of Muhammad Buhari. We were Nigerians then when Muhammad Buhari was president. Cost of living was pretty high, but not as what we're experiencing now. Nigerians were also suffering then, as it were. If the people who surround him are Nigerians who live in this country, who actually feel the pain that Nigerians go because they too are Nigerians, if Nigerians are one of the most intelligent people on the surface of this earth, by agreement, everyone in the world actually know this, how would you now say that the reason why we are in this quagmire is because the people who surround the president do not think, and probably they are the cause of the situation that we find ourselves right now? It's a paradox. That's my take, and I really want you to holistically take a look again at the situation in the country vis-a-vis the decisions that the president makes, and of course the Nigerians that surround him, to help him actually make sure that Nigerians feel the dividends of democracy.
Yes, I want to take it from where you stopped. That did he mean well to Nigeria? Yes, he did. How do you go about it? Yes, Tinubu is having his own health challenge, just like you said about Muhammad Buhari. These people that's why we say we want younger people that have the mental abilities to run this country. The country is not meant for the old generation anymore. The reason is that we have a lot of people that are political. Their political interest is to gain and gain and gain from the societies, is to loot the society. That is their interest. And if we have this set of people in government, in surrounding the government, surrounding the president, if there's no effort that the government of today's or the president can do, that this set of people will always come up. We saw what happened in the Jonathan times. We saw what happened in late Yaradua time. We saw even Buhari. We saw what Emefiele is taking out. We saw what this woman, Dizani, is taking out of Nigeria. These are set of people that are super corrupt. We have people that surrounded you. You give them trust. You look, even Tinubu 6 months. Edu, can see what is taking up. What billions of millions of people are stealing from the government. And this
Tinubu put her there.
Yes, he put her. He trusted them to act. If they are all Nigerians, he trusted them to act. But when you put people in a trusted position, in public positions to act, you start having criminals. They start behaving that they want to steal the country. They want to kill the country. So, and the president will not be able to see all this. So I want to believe that the president have his own shortcoming. That's why we talk about his health. All these people should be, at least for now, retired, relax, and let the younger ones, those who can handle this country, come in, so that they will be able to see the loophole and block all those loopholes. I think that would be the best thing. People can call it short. You have tried your best. You can go home and relax, and let the younger one come up and see how they can develop this country. I think that would be the best.
You know, it's funny how you tend to actually call him a visionary, and then in just a short time you tend to actually doubt his ability to lead as a person. But nonetheless, let's move forward. When it comes to the issue of protest, you know, we tend to hope a strike will not be imminent. But at this point, strike just could be imminent. Now, considering the fact where the response, you know, from the federal government itself has not been really honorable, they tend not to honor the agreements with labor and all that. So we know we could actually tell from the way things are going that probably after the 2-day strike, we will always end up with after the 2-day protest, we will always end up with a strike. Now, what's your take as to the government's inability to honor promises and things that we already agree with prior? I mean, if they had, as a government, like, a government with integrity tend to, honor their promises, we wouldn't have actually got to this point where we tend to want to negotiate protest and strike.
Negotiation is part of development. It's part of society development. There's no how that this government will not come up again to promise the NLC, the TUC, the Nigerians at large. But I want to tell you this, that the protest will give a sign towards the policies, the present policy of Ahmed Bola Tinubu administration, what it have been doing, and the policy is not working. So that's why I need to think. He needs people who can think for him.
No, in this case, it wasn't an issue of policy. It's the issue of not actually meeting promises. not a policy. You know, he made mention of, you know, giving 35,000 only for the range of 6 months. He made mention of actually issuing and buses. All those he said, none came to pass. So it's not the issue of reformations nor policies. It's actually of, you know, a government should actually have those ability to actually stand, you know, and integrity actually is a word for every government, you know, and it's more like this sitting government tend to lack the term integrity.
Now, talking about integrity, let me reel out some of what. Let me add to what you just said.
Okay.
The efforts that and the promise that Tinubu made. He promised to set up a committee to roll out palliative. He actually announced a slew of initiatives such as purchasing of CNG vehicles, 75 billion naira single-digit interest loans to manufacturers and MSMEs, allocation of 5 billion naira to states, distribution of grains across 36 states. The question is, how many of these promises have been met by the Tinubu government?
Yes.
You're a Nigerian.
Yes, I'm a Nigerian.
And you're here to speak for every Nigerian.
Yeah.
How many of this have you heard or seen? Which report have you gotten that this in 1% has been given to Nigerians since the promise?
Yeah. He have given out, he have rolling out some millions, as you said it, to the governors of the states, and we have not seen the effects here in Nigerians. We have not seen, even in my state, you have not seen the effect.
You have proof that the monies were given?
Yeah, the monies have been given. They did not deny it. The governor did not deny that they did not receive money from the state's allocations that we are giving to them for palliative. The government did not deny it. No state government.
If you're talking
no
about
state government have denied that.
That is just one out of all that have rolled out.
Yes. That is just one, and the rest, the promises that you mentioned there, have not been kept, and that is one of those areas that I said the government is not keeping its promises also, because you cannot promise 7 and you are giving out 1. Even the 1 we cannot is not effective, because the common mans are not seeing it. So it shows that everything that is going to be in that list is not going to affect, is not going to change anything in Nigeria. Because the number one thing he did is to give out the governors their own money, and we have not seen the effects. As a common man on the street, I have not seen any effect of these governors. The monies in my state are being dishing out. Nobody in my state can ever, even in my streets, I've ever seen anything called palliative as so what. The house we are giving out, how many rights have you given? And how is the effect? How easy is it being distributed? Is it distributed in party line? Because I learned that it's just party people that we are giving the rights. So if you are talking about Nigerians, we are not giving parties here. We are not representing party. We are representing Nigerians. So
no, honest, I really haven't heard of any party that claims to actually have.
It's just been hijacked by the party. So it is their leaders and their parties that are enjoying it. So if you are giving out, if you are rolling out palliative and you are giving out to your party members, that is not palliative. That is not. It's not going to affect the common man that is not practice, that is not belonging to any political parties. So how do you go about that? That is why I say he's not putting on his thinking cap. Those cap that he used to wear is have a symbol, and he should be able to sit down and see how effectively he can push out all these things that he's saying. Because the way I'm looking at it, most people will hijack everything is keep on that list. The list is rolling out. The politician will hijack it, and they will not get to the masses that need it, and the masses will remember him for this. They will not remember him for good.
Now going by the things that you've said, you know, if I may quote you broadly, does it mean that are you trying to actually let us believe that every government that we've had in this country has taken Nigerians for granted?
The governors have been given the government. Are you saying the government or the governor?
Government.
The government, yes, they have taken us for a ride. Yes, I want to tell you that the present situation we find ourselves is not the way it shows that we don't have the good leaders in Nigerians ever since we have been people that have killed these countries, people that cannot stand and tell us this is the road, this is the leadership road we should take. We don't need rulers, we need leaders. Leaders that can lead us, that can leave us from this exile we find ourselves and lead us to the promised land. And that's why when people come out to say they want to vie for a position, we are not looking at your CV, we are looking at the charismatic you have, the levels of mentality you can use to carry us from where we are to where we ought to be. That is what we are looking. We saw what Malaysia became. We saw what India has became. We saw the revolution in China, what they have became. So what is keeping us back? What is keeping Nigeria back? Is it productions? Is it agricultural? Is it industrializations? All these three areas that keep government alive, we are not keeping into it. We are not producing. Either are we into agriculturally? Either are we industrializing? So these three areas, these three point areas, are the one that is affecting us. And any key government that is coming in, any key government that is there, should be able to work on these three areas.
Now, let me add something here, because from the things that you've said, you did mention, you start by, should I say, hyping.
Yes,
then later you told us it was talked about his age, then you talked about his health. And now you're talking about the role of Nigerians, because you just generalized now that the people, not the government, are the ones not industrializing, the ones not doing the agriculture, the ones not actually doing their bit to move the country forward. Nigerians voted for Tinubu, right? Before the elections, we knew about his age, we knew about his health situation, and again, people came out en masse, in quote, to vote to put this man as our leader. Now, talking about Nigerians, do you think somehow we are the cause of our own problems away from government? Because the government that we talk about is not an entity or a UFO that lives in the sky. It is humans that run government. Are you now saying that Nigerians are their problem?
Yes, we are part of the problems. We cannot remove the hand from the body. We cannot remove the leg from the body. We are part of Nigerians' problems. The peoples are also part of the problems. They feel they cannot. They don't have a stand on their own. They don't have the mindset on their own. They felt the moment they saw something that is wrong, they keep quiet, like the way we have been keeping quiet now. We felt it's all right, it's our children, because we follow the regional line of it, we follow ethnicity, nepotism. So all these areas that keep Nigerians like this. So the moment it is our own children, let it be there. It is our brothers, it's our sisters, and we are not saying the facts. And these are affecting us as a nation. So the moment we see this and we start calling a spade, it doesn't matter where it comes from. We just have to tell you the truth. That we say Tinubu, in 30-something years ago, Tinubu was an excellent man. Was a struggler. Was part of the Nadecos, was part of the struggles for democracy. Yes, I say that because I believe, and I saw him on the street of Lagos. I saw him protesting. The same Tinubu, the president today. I saw him protesting for good governors. He protests for democracy must stay. He protests all this in 1993, 94, 95. He's part of the struggles of today's Nigeria. But what is it today after 30-something years? He has changed mentally. He has changed. His body cannot. That's why they call him Baba today. He's an old man. He has changed. So can he carry this problem? I can't say. Because he have been there for the past 7 months. He have not been doing something. The policies that he's rolling out have not been effective. And I still want to believe that he don't have people around him that can help him, to support him to do these jobs. So that is it.
So in this case, you tend to actually question his level of competence, you question his level of integrity as a president. Now, nonetheless, let's talk about the minimum wage. We tend to really pay attention to the minimum wage lately, but I tend to wonder, would the minimum wage be of help at this point in time? You know, it's one thing to actually tend to, you know, increase one's pay, and then the next day in the market, you know, price tends to really skyrocket. Do we really need a minimum wage increment, you know, at those points in time?
Yes, we need an increment, because that is the way we find, that is the situation we find
Don't
ourselves.
you think that will actually lead at some point, you know, to skyrocketing a price in food?
The price already have been skyrocketed. You will give the least man 30,000 naira to go to the market, and his 30,000 is not enough for him to go. So what do you expect? He come back to his PE and tell him that the money you are giving me, I cannot afford to be working for 30 days, and a meal is about 1,000 naira per meal, and I have to pay house bill, pay this, my transport. How do I survive in this economy? So you have to increase. So just oppose what the market is saying. The money is too small. So, but how the government intervene is to introduce, is to go into agric, is to produce. Those are the three areas the government should look into: is to introduce, is to produce, and into
those seems really long term. What are we going to do? You know, in
the short time, the short time. We have product here already. We have products.
Product we can afford?
Yes, product that we can use to have money. But the problem is that, are we, like what you say transparencies. Are we really transparent? Did the leaders show transparency? Did we have integrity? Do we have a leader that have integrity, that can keep to his word, to his promise? Are we ready to sacrifice? Are the leader ready to sacrifice? Not the followers. The leaders should be able to sacrifice. I think these are the areas that the present government should do. The first thing is to have a group of people that is ready to sacrifice. Without that, he cannot achieve anything.
You're talking about sacrifices. I keep saying it's a paradox, because I live in this country. I'm a Nigerian, you're a Nigerian. You've not talked about leadership by example. So you're saying leaders should sacrifice. The leaders are not sacrificing. You already said, we talked about the role of Nigerians taking their destiny into their own hands. How do we as Nigerians get the message across to those in power to actually lead by example? Because they expect Nigerians to manage. The president actually told Nigerians that this is a time where, quoting President Tinubu, to take baby steps. If you tell Nigerians to take baby steps, we're talking about 270 approximately, because we really do not know how the number we are in the country. So we approximately 270 million people to take baby steps. What steps should the government take to ensure that we get the benefits that we desire?
The first thing the government should do, that the people can have trust in him, is to reduce the cost of governance in Nigerians.
Cost of governance?
Yeah, is to show that these leaders are ready to give out from their pockets, and let it be seen as a note to them that we are where we are because of their lavish spending. We are in the present situation because of the zealous life they are living. They are living more than the president of America. They are living more than the senators in America. They are earning more. Our reps are earning more. So issue shows by examples, like what you said. The leaders should sacrifice more, because the moment they refuse to do that, there will going to be anarchy in the countries.
But they've refused to do that. That is why we're here,
yes,
talking, bringing
about the
people
protests.
To talk about
yes.
situation in the country. Those in power have refused to reduce the cost of governance, but they're telling Nigerians to walk with baby steps. I'm saying, how do we get the message to them?
The message to the leaders is this.
If I ask you now to send a message to leadership to government on the fact that they need to lead by example. The fact that Nigerians have told and called and cried, the world all over have told Nigerians, the Nigerian government, to reduce cost of governance. But of course, that is not happening. If you were to tell them right now, which the opportunity that you have, what would you say to government?
What I will tell them is that they should watch it. If they refuse to heed to this advice, it will not be good for them as well, because there will be a time that they will come to their consequences and they start stoning them. They will mob them and they will start acting funny. It's not going to be funny that time. So it is better for them to sacrifice now when the ovation is high, when they are assisting them as something, than when they can took away their cars and their houses and start burning it down. You see what happened in NSAS, and start people burning their factories down, and that is when they will want to give it all, and that will not heed any promises then. So it is the best solution for them to give out now that people are crying, that people are in need of it, than when they start eating them on the road, and when they start slapping and beating them in their consequences. And that is the next level Nigeria is going. Some of them will come and campaign and people will start stoning them, and that is when they will now see the bad aspects which they have led to. So it's better for them to sacrifice now and leave that their ego and they are greedy, and leave it for the peoples, so that they will know that they want to sacrifice and they want to give back to the society. So that is what the advice I have for them. If not, most of them will find out that what happened in the last NSAS crisis will just be a little out of what is going to happen. If people cannot eat, people cannot feed, and you are driving a cars of 60, 80 millions, and you say 120, and you say people should be happy with you. So it's that they will burn down the car.
Now, when they spoke about subsidy removal, one of the vocal points was the things you may use the money to invest into some other ministry, manufacturing industries and all that. And now, Nigerians tend to actually accept those words with whole of their heart. As it turns out, we really don't know where the money is being reinvested into, and this is actually making Nigeria want to clamor for a subsidy of fuel, to be brought back, And at this point, they really are saying not just subsidy on fuel, but subsidy on just other basic commodity. Now, do you find it really intelligent, asking for subsidy of fuel, to be brought back, and probably subsidy on other basic commodities, just to really keep human moving?
Subsidy is a scam.
A scam.
Scam. It's just a basic lie. There are people who are going to be making money on subsidy. We have subsidies in petroleums, which is the scams.
When you say scam, you mean to say President Tinubu on his first day in office actually gave Nigerians a lie?
He's just saying that he first scarcity, but he don't even know what it entails. It's not as if he's saying lies. He don't understand what they are subsidizing. So that's why I say
you really don't believe his leadership, do you?
It's not as if I don't believe his leadership.
He's very clueless.
He don't understand what they are subsidizing. So that's why I say subsidy should go. He don't understand it. In fact, it's a scam also. That's what I'm saying. He say it's a scam. To him also it's a scam.
Has something really changed, for like the period of 30 years already? Because you sounded he was a Democrat.
Yes, he was a Democrat. That's something that changed. Yes, he's not the one we know 33 years ago. This is not Tinubu we know that he's fighting outrightly with the light of Wale Soyinka, with the light of Beko. These are people that fought for democracy in Nigeria. So we cannot be expecting less from him. I'm saying it because I know him. We are part of all those struggles that we fought in there in the 93s, and we know what impact that led to all these things we are enjoying today. So we cannot just have him at these corridors of power today. This is somebody who have been eyeing to be there for the past 31 years. He's a senior citizen of these countries. So nobody can deny that. Apart from those who contested, it was Atiku and Tinubu who have those credibilities, have been seen for so long in the Nigerian government.
We are out of time when it comes to this show. Exactly, our time has always been a constraining factor, but it's more like we have so much to say, and we really hope to have you back some other time. Now, before we leave the studio, actually, we tend to always give our audience, a time where they really get to hear final parting words from our guests. So, if you have a parting word for our audience, please.
I will also want to encourage us to move out, to show our grievances against the bad policies of this present government on the 27 and 28 peacefully. It's not harming the common man also, it's not harming the market women that are still struggling. I want us to peacefully, the reason is that we want to show to the world, we want to show to the leadership that we are not happy with the way things are coming high. The cost of living is too much high, we cannot bear it anymore. We don't want to jackpot. We don't want to run away from this country. So this is a country we build. This is a country we suffer for, and we are part of it, and we want to enjoy it together.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Like rightly said, this is a country we all built, and we really tend to really enjoy the country as a person. Now, I would personally say, it's really high time we tend to renew this hope of ours daily, so we won't end up losing faith in ourselves, in our country, and our leadership. Now, do have a wonderful day. Of course, I remain Ezekiel Ogar.
And I am Anire Binitie. Bye for now.